Good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. So we are going to start a new topic in these webinars. So today, Saturday, December 16, we have the privilege to have an special guest. She's from Ecuador. She's an educator. She works at SPOL. And I have the privilege that she was my professor when I studied the master's in the Casa Grande. Master Margarita Ortiz, it's a privilege. Thanks for accepting the invitation to be here.
Thank you, Andres, for the invitation as well.
Okay, well, dear teacher, so you can participate it. So Master Margarita will make some pauses. In that moment, you can make your questions. You can write in the chat. I will read for you. Okay, so and we can go on. So I think the topic would be very interesting for you. The idea is that we can exchange experience, ideas, and we can collaborate in that way. So take it like a class, so you can learn and take your notes and learn from this session. Okay, so Margarita, in this moment you can start. I allow you to use your slides. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I can start. Okay, hi, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. So I'll be presenting this topic about empowering language learning, exploring generative AI in the classroom. But before actually explaining how to do it, I would like to know what is generative AI, or what have you heard about it, or what comes to your mind when you hear this topic about generative AI. So to do that, we're going to do some Mentimeter, and I'm going to present this, so please. Okay, so you can either go to menti.com, and then you can include this code, okay, and then you can write as many as you want, as many words. What comes to your mind? If you've never heard of it, then you just say, okay, I have no idea. I've never heard of this. If you have maybe an example of a tool, okay, or something like that, so that's what you can do. Let me see if I can also share the link. Let me see if I have access to it. Okay, that's also the link. So you can also enter there as well. And then I would like to hear, well, to read, what have you heard about generative artificial intelligence? Maybe a tool, something that now it's trending. A lot of tools are trending now, ever since last year. Okay, so let's try to enter. So I included the link in the chat, or you can go to menti.com and include the numbers that are over there. So don't be afraid. Or if it's maybe you want to, okay, I have two responses. Okay, it says there is a digital tool, okay, disruptive. Yeah, indeed. Let's see who else, because we have here, how many people? We have 8 people plus, 7. It will include Andres and I, will be 9. Okay, so let's see who else would like to add any information. It's a digital tool. What have you heard? If you've never heard of it, then just run it. No idea, never heard of it. That's okay.
Master Margarita, well, in my case, I heard I told you once that I in a online seminar I heard once a speaker. He was explaining about a platform related to artificial intelligence, and then he was explaining about the different uses. No, for example, when the students desire to I don't know, to look for information, to do the research, find out information, and the artificial intelligence make it a little bit easier for them to look for. That's what I heard from it.
Okay, to look for information. Okay, that's interesting. And let's see what other people have also written. It says digital tool, yeah, and it says innovation to research, to do research. Indeed, that also helps. Okay, so I guess I can now skip to the other part. So then what is, or what do we mean when we say generative artificial intelligence? And what is the difference? Because, you know, we have artificial intelligence, normal, that we sometimes heard, but now we have these new terms. So, you know, what is the difference, right? Okay, so what happens now, I mean, ever since ChatGPT, that's since last year, it's that these people, these computer scientists, decided to connect the computer to internet, actually. And now the computer has access to all the information, words, pictures, music, movies, everything that you can find on internet. The computer decided to learn all this information, okay? And now what happens is that now it can generate, that's why it's called generative, that now it can generate information based on what we tell the computer to do, okay? So if we tell them, you see on the left, right? We say, create an image. We don't need to be a computer scientist anymore. We can do it in simple English. We can say, create an image. I would like a picture of a daisy flower with glasses. And then you type it, and then the computer, so that's the artificial intelligence part, it's going to take what you want. It's going to take the information from internet, different pictures all around the world, and then it's going to, you know, to design, to create, to generate what we ask, okay? And that's why when we on the left, we say, okay, create an image with these characteristics, the computer is going to take the information, and then voila, we have a picture, okay? With ChatGPT, if some of you have used it before, what happens is the same. You type it, it's like a chat. You say, okay, I would like a lesson plan, 45 minutes, level A2, teenagers, the topic is simple past. And then in seconds, it creates all the whole lesson plan. So you see, so that's what we mean when it's generative. It's generating, it's creating information based on what we tell them. And as you can see, it's not only words, it's videos, music, sound, it's all the different media elements, okay? And that's what is disruptive. Somebody wrote the word disruptive, because it's changing everything. It's changing the way we teach, that our students are learning. It's also changing, you know, businesses, jobs, and it's something that we all have to be aware of. And now we should actually start working and learning how to use this, okay? So that's what we mean by generative artificial intelligence. Now, if you talk about, you know, the different tools, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's either every hour or every day, there is a new tool that uses a generative artificial intelligence being created. So there are many hundreds, thousands of tools every day that they're using this technology to create tools, okay? So this is just an example of the different tools that we have nowadays for video generation, image generation, for coding, for speech, for text, and the list goes on and on and on, okay? So we shouldn't be scared about, you know, that we have to know all these tools. I know maybe only one of them, okay? Just feel comfortable with at least one, and then master how to use it, okay? So that's the most important part. But it's just for you to know that as we're speaking, there is another tool that uses generative artificial intelligence on the market, okay, on internet, so that people can use it. And that's what it's crazy. There are so many tools, and it's so easy to use this technology, because you just have to know, you know, how to structure the different instructions to give to the computer, and then it creates everything, okay? So now, something that we all should be aware, it's that regarding, the tool that we're going to use, we should know the benefits and limitations. Okay, what are the benefits and limitations for language teachers? On the good side, we save time, because now, as I mentioned, we can say, okay, give me a lesson plan, and it creates a lesson plan in seconds. And of course, it saves time. If I ask, one of the tools to give me a multiple choice exam, based on this reading text, this paragraph, give me the questions, give me the answers, and voila, I created exam. So you see, it's it saves a lot of time, and also cost in a way. Of course, there are tools that are now that are, you have to pay for them, but others are for free. And you save time, and you save a lot of money as well, because you're not wasting now of, looking for other tools, or maybe you're looking for the time that you're spending doing something. It's also money that you could spend doing something else. So that's what it means, but it's cost and time efficiency. And then another good thing is it's personalization. You can adapt these tools depending on what you want to do, okay, with your students as well, and as well for teachers. On the other hand, we should know the limitations. There is inaccuracy of content, so we have to be aware when we use it that the information that is generating sometimes can be incorrect. So that's why we are the experts, and we cannot just trust 100% the information that is there. So if we want to generate an exam, and yes, we're going to get it like this, we have to check, of course, that everything is correct. We are the ones, we're the humans, we're the ones who know this information. That's why we studied to be teachers. We study all these years, and that's why we have to be aware of that, okay? We should not trust 100% the information that we are receiving. And the other thing is bias information, because remember, the computer is taking the information from internet. So if a student, for example, would like an essay on, I don't know, civil rights, and then imagine that for civil rights specifically, the computer is taking information from websites that are against, I don't know, Black people. And then the information that it's going to generate, if the student says, write an essay about your civil rights, it's going to be biased. It's going to be then maybe against, Black people. And then the student is going to say, okay, so this is internet and it must be correct. So that's also a limitation that we have to aware of when it comes to using this type of tools that contain generative artificial intelligence. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, how can we use it in class? So I'm going to base this presentation on 3 different types of generative AI. One is for text, the other one is for video, and the other one is for images. And then I'm going to provide some examples, okay? But before I continue to the first part, I would like to make a pause and ask if there is any question, either in the chat or something that you would like to say, aloud. Okay, so far so good about the definition and the limitations and the benefits of generative artificial intelligence. Going once, going twice, and I continue. Okay, so now how can we use it in class? So I'm going to give you examples of one of the tools that maybe some of you have either used it, are using it, or you've heard of it. That it's, these tools are Bard, Bing, and ChatGPT. So who has used ChatGPT before? So maybe you can raise your hands. Let me stop sharing for a moment. And maybe you can raise your hand in your screens if you used, if you're currently using ChatGPT or Bard once at least. Okay, have you ever heard of never used ChatGPT before? No? Yes? Andres, you have used ChatGPT before?
I have heard about ChatGPT, but I have never used.
Okay, you've never used it. Okay, that's it. How about the rest? You can write it in the chat. Either Celine, Sandra, I have Maria, Cesar, Maria Jose, Maria, have Lynn, Robert, Nancy. Have you used ChatGPT before? Or you've heard about ChatGPT? So Andres says, yeah, I've heard about ChatGPT. So no use? Okay, Robert says he has never used it. Okay. So I guess for the rest, it's a pretty much similar situation. Okay, good. Then just to know that it's important to know so that I can continue. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of how to use these tools. So, but first, I'm going to focus specifically on ChatGPT. So for the ones who have never used ChatGPT before, I'm going to show you what ChatGPT looks like, okay? Yeah, so you just register in Chat OpenAI. And then Maria says, okay, never use it. Okay, so ChatGPT looks like this, you see? And then it's like a chat pretty much, okay? So you can either write in Spanish, in English, in any language. And it's a very smart chat. You can talk to this machine and you can ask anything and then it's going to give you the information. So you can ask, for instance, think like a teacher, give me a lesson plan, 45 minutes, what I was mentioning you before, 45 minutes, A2 level, simple pass. My students are teenagers. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me see. I have a problem with ChatGPT. Could not parse certification token. I'm sorry. So it happens. Give me a moment. Okay. So I'm going to write out the instructions. So it's like a chat. You say, think like a teacher, write a lesson plan, 45 minutes for teenagers. Objective, it's a simple pass. I'm going to write it very fast. Simple pass. And yeah, A2 level. Okay, so you see, in a matter of seconds, the computer or this tool specifically, it's going to give me a lesson plan for 45 minutes about lesson using Simple Pass, you see? And it's going to tell me how to do it. Yeah, okay, so that's what ChatGPT does. And everything is written. Yeah, it doesn't generate pictures. That's why the first type of examples is text, okay? And that's what you have here. And yeah, I can ask any question and then it's going to provide as much information in Spanish. I can say, okay, now in Spanish, and that's why it's a chat. Because if I want to ask more information, I don't need to copy and paste. And I can say, okay, write it in Spanish. And I continue the conversation. That's why it's a chat. You see? And now and I can continue. And I say like, no, I want for adults. So you can say, okay, adults. And it's going to change everything. And it's never going to give you the same information. Never. So you can ask this. Everybody can ask the same instruction. And it's going to give you 10,000 different answers, okay? So that's why it's nice, it's good, but at the same time, it's tricky. Because if our students can cheat, you could never be able to know that your students are taking the information from ChatGPT because you're going to have 45 students, 45 different versions of the same essay, okay? So you have to be aware of that. Yeah? Okay, so Now, what can we do in class? How can we use these tools in class? So that's why I wanted to give you 3 examples, okay, on how to do it. So the first example, you can see my screen. It's called special guest, yeah? You can use this prompt from the instruction. You can use this instruction, okay? And then maybe you're learning in class about someone famous. Maybe you are developing or you're focusing on WH questions. Maybe it's also about simple past. It depends on the language objective. But you can use this instruction, and I'm going to try it with you live, and then I'm going to put it in the chat so that maybe you can use it in your classes as well. So you can copy this instruction. It's called a prompt, okay? And then we're going to see what happens when we use this, yeah? So I'm going to put it now here in ChatGPT. I'm going to create a new chat. Yeah. So act as I'm going to do Albert Einstein, because that's example. Einstein, and answer the questions I asked. My first question is, I can ask, for instance, if it's WH question, how old were you when you died? So you see, and then ChatGPT is going to pretend that it's Albert Einstein, and now you're gonna have a conversation with Albert Einstein. You say, oh, I passed away by the age of 76. You see, the year was 1955. And I can continue asking, okay, what do you regret creating because he helped creating this formula for the atomic bomb, right? Do you create contributing to the creation of the atomic bomb? So you see, so now it's asking questions. So you can elaborate this, and you can continue and continue with this with your students. But then how can you use this in class? If we are in a perfect scenario, your students can use, their cell phones to do this. But if you don't have that scenario, and maybe you do have, at least you as a teacher, you have a projector, you have a computer, and you have internet, what you can ask your students in class is that they can ask questions. They can write the questions. Okay, they can write the questions, WH questions. That's what your students are learning. And then you can randomly say in class, okay, Maria, please tell me, what's your question? And then you are a teacher, you type the question your student generate, and then we continue learning about the famous person that we invited in class, okay? And that's how you can use it in class, you see? Another way is that maybe you can send it for homework. You can send for homework, and then your students should bring, either printed or just digital screen capture of the different interactions. So maybe the homework assignment would be write 5 WH questions to Albert Einstein, okay? And then you see the evidence that the student actually interacted with the computer, with Albert Einstein. And you can change the person, as you see over here. Okay, it can be any famous person, but just to keep in mind, in the specific case of ChatGPT, the free version that I am using right now, it only has all the information from internet until in 2021, okay? So if you're asking from to be someone famous recently, someone, from these last 2 years, it's going to say, like, I have no idea who the person is. That's what ChatGPT is going to answer, okay? Maybe for that, you can use another tool that is very similar to this. Is called Bard from Google. Okay, let me show you what Bard looks like. It's pretty much the same, but it's from Google. That is a difference. You see, that's Bard, okay? And it's you write the prompt, and then it creates information, the instructions, okay? It's very, very similar. And that's how you can use this in class, you see? So I'm going to copy and paste the link for you, okay? The link, I'm sorry, the prompt, so that next time you can use that in class. You can add more information to this prompt, to this instruction. So you can ask, say, okay, the information or A2 level, answer the questions at an A2 level. And then it's going to lower the level, the English level, so that your students can understand. So maybe it's too elaborated. And then, of course, the computer is going to do it. Yeah, so that's why it's very interesting the way you can interact with this type of technology. So that's for example number 1. After I give you the 3 examples, we can have a pause and then you can ask me any question. Yeah. So that's for example number 1. Let's take a look at example number 2. Okay, we have emojis. Something that I didn't know is that ChatGPT can create emojis. So, so you can use this prompt again, and then you can ask ChatGPT this tool to create something for you. So you can say, for instance, I'm going to create a new chat. I want you to translate the sentence I write into the emojis. My first sentence is, hello, what is your profession? You see? And then it creates emojis, okay? And then you can just copy this information and paste it in a Word document. You can make, of course, the pictures bigger. But then again, okay, so how can we use something like this in class, right? With the emojis. So what you can do is for a writing activity. Maybe you can write you can present the emojis, okay? You present the emojis to your students. And then your students have to create what will be the question that is about, it's about those emojis. So for instance, I can ask my students, okay, so based on these pictures, these emojis, what is the question? So that's going to be a fun activity. It could be an icebreaker. It could be something to finish the class. And then your students, they can write down either in pairs, in groups, whole class activity, individually. They can write down, okay? Another thing that could happen as well, maybe for homework, is that your students, maybe they have to write a letter. I don't know, they have to write a letter normally, and then they have to use ChatGPT to transform all their letter into emojis. Yeah, they transform. And then in class, they give those emojis to one of their friends, and they have to figure out, maybe not in written part, but speaking, they have to figure out the translation, what it means. Okay, so that would be another way to do it. And then it's all about being creative on how can you do it. And if maybe you're like frustrated, like, okay, I have no idea how else to do this, you can ask ChatGPT as well. So you can say, think like a teacher. Give me ideas on how to use on activities. Give me ideas on activities to do in class using emojis. And then you could say, think like a language teacher. Give me ideas on activities to do in class using emojis. So maybe if you're frustrated one of these days, like I have no idea what to do with these emojis. Okay. And then of course, ChatGPT is going to help you with different ideas, you see, with vocabulary, with quizzes, stories or dialogues, so that you can incorporate these things in class. So the key is to, to ask the right question through the instructions. So if you want to use this prompt in class, again, I'm going to share with you the prompt, okay? So that will be example number 2 of how to use generative AI tools in the sense of, text. Then we have another one. This is a little bit more elaborated. Higher level, I would say high school. We have this Socratic conversation, okay? This is a very long prompt. And how does it work? Maybe you could use it when you finish, the unit, and you want to make sure that your students practice more on content. This is more about content-based rather than language. So if you're teaching social studies, science, history, or maybe in high school, in the IB program, this could help a lot, okay? So how can you use this in class? So I'm going to copy and paste the prompt, and then we'll see what happens, okay? So what I'm asking the computer is help me understand more about a topic. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, it's okay, we will go together, let's discuss a concept. You will provide feedback if I make a mistake, help me understanding. That's what you're asking the computer to do, okay, And then it says uses Socratic technique. Socrates used to do that. He's used to have a conversation with you, but asking questions. So the more questions he asked, the more information he gathered from you, and that's how you could understand more about something. Okay, so let's imagine that we're teaching science, and the topic is about the environment, okay, with the topic of the environment. Yeah, and this is the student doing the activity. So now we're going to interact. I am the student who is going to reinforce about the environment. So it says, what aspects of the environment are you most interested in exploring? Is it climate change, biodiversity? And I would say, okay, sustainability practices. Okay, and now it's going to ask me questions to make sure that I understood what I learned in class. So, okay, what comes to your mind when you think of sustainability practices? Are there any particular industries where sustainability practices are more challenging? And then maybe I don't know, I don't remember as a student. It's like, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know. So you see? That's completely okay. Sustainability is a vast and multifaceted concept. Let's start by exploring a few industries. And then it stops. That's the thing about technology, that sometimes it stops. So let's see if I don't know. Okay, there you are. You see, and now it's going to help me understand more in depth about this topic. But the way that it's going to it's going to help me, it's not by giving me answers, but by asking me more questions. That's how the Socratic method works, okay? How can you use this in class? You can ask your students, you can give the prompt to your students, and they can practice. When they finish the unit, or maybe practice for an exam, but if it's about these content-based topics, then your students can practice, and then they have to maybe provide evidence, screen capture of the fact that they actually practice this information, you see? And that's how you can use this topic about Socratic conversation in class. I can also, I'm going to paste this here, okay, so that you can use it in your classes as well. You can practice in your classes as well, yeah? Now, if you want more ideas of more prompts on these topics, I have these websites that I found, okay? That is teachermate.com, that again, I'm going to share these two with you. And then it has more ideas, yeah? Okay, so that you can use, and these are text based, yeah? So prompts are the instructions, different examples of instructions, and you can use to teach English in your classes, yeah? So before skipping to the images part, I'm going to make a pause and tell me if you have any question about the first part, about using AI, generative AI in the sense of text-based tools, okay? Any question that you might have? Or any comment either in the chat or... Okay. No questions, so going once, going twice. Okay, I will continue then to the next type of generative AI in the case of images, okay? So now we have, again, we have different tools that can generate pictures. Okay, it's like Google, but at another level. Because now you can say, I would like a picture with certain characteristics, and then it's going to create it for you, okay? So the one that I use, that I specifically use is this one. I'm using this tool that it's Adobe Firefly. You see over here, I'm using Adobe Firefly. It's for free. So what you do, it's pretty much, you can write. You see that it looks like ChatGPT in the sense of, it's like a chat. But instead of writing text, it's going to generate pictures. So what picture you would like is like, okay, I have it in here in Spanish. It says, write the image that you would like to generate. I'm going to, I don't know if it's going to recognize in English. I'm going to try in English, okay? A flower with elephants. I would like a painting of a flower with elephants, Van Gogh style. Okay. And now the computer is thinking, it's taking the information from internet all over the world, and it's now trying to generate something similar to what I'm asking, you see? Okay. And now you see it generated some images. Okay, so maybe it was not really Van Gogh style. These things are not perfect, as I mentioned you before, especially with pictures, but it's something similar. So, okay, I really like it. So I'm going to use this picture for my classes. So you see, that's how it works when it comes to images, this type of tool. Now, how can we use it in class? Okay, I'm going to give you again 3 ideas on how to use these things in class. The first one is, it says, the students write a book and add their own generative AI images. So either level, it could be A1, A2, B1, B2, they can write, you know, sentences of their last vacation, and they can use this type of tools. They can create the picture. So it's like, oh, last vacation, I went to Salinas, and then they can ask, you know, the computer, your students can say, okay, a picture of a boy in a beach, okay, in Ecuador, or in something like that. And then it creates a picture like that, okay? And then you can create a book, okay, with pictures and everything. And that's, you practice writing, and maybe your students have to read it. The other ones, you practice reading, you see? That's how you can use it in your classes. Another example, students create their avatars and explain the reasons for design. You saw that you can create many things. So you can ask your students to create their avatars, and then in class, they bring the pictures, and then they explain. So that will be a speaking activity, okay? Why they designed their avatars the way they wanted it. And another idea could be to create an illustration an illustration based on a sentence. Something that happens with my son is that when he's learning new vocabulary, they ask him to write a sentence and write a picture. I mean, draw a picture or look for a picture. So sometimes this vocabulary is complicated. So maybe you can go to internet to this type of tool, and then your students can write, the specific sentence. It generates the picture, and then you add the picture as well. And of course, remember that our students, some vocabularies are difficult as well for our students to understand. So we are the ones who can also bring a picture, something similar, and then we can show them, and then they can understand what it means. Okay, that could also work. You see? So, and then next I have a comment, say great ideas, which will appeal to students very much. Thanks, you're welcome. So you see, many different ways to do this. It's pretty much about using pictures in class, if you think about it. The difference is that now you don't have to look for these pictures on internet, but now you can look for these pictures in these tools. I mean, not on Google, I'm sorry, but then you can look for these pictures with this special tool, and it generates very easily what you specifically want. Okay, that's a whole difference. Okay, so if you want more ideas, I found this link, okay? And then you can also get more information. Okay, I'm gonna share it with you here. Yeah, okay, so you have it here. More ideas how to use pictures to do in your class. If you give me just 1 second, because there is a sound that is not helping me concentrate, just let me pause something around my house so that I can continue. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay, dear teachers, it's a pleasure to contribute it with this run of webinars. So I hope you can take notes and learn from this topic that in these last years, the artificial intelligence it's an approach and an issue that many educators, students, they take advantage on it. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know, and I can read to Master Margarita. Okay.
I have these comments. I said, thanks, good ideas to catch attention from our students. Good, thank you. Thank you that it's really helping you with different ways to do it in class. Okay, so that's for pictures. Let's continue with the last part. If you don't have any more any other comment or question about pictures, I will continue to the last tool, that is videos. This one is crazy. I have never tried videos until yesterday that I was preparing this webinar. And it's really interesting the way it creates videos. Okay, so the next one, it's about videos. And again, plethora of different tools to do it. Yesterday, I just Googled one and I try it. Okay, and that's what I want to show you, how this tool works with video. So I'm gonna use this one. It's called AI in Video. That's what that's the name, AI in Video. Again, randomly, I just put generative AI video in Google, and I just look for free. That's for free, and that's how I use. So you see, again, it's like a chat. It says, okay, tell me, what do you want? And I create it. So I decided, and it's something that we do a lot of in class. We ask our students to create conversations. So what I'm going to do is that based on a conversation that my student created in class, I'm going to create a video, yeah? But first I'm going to ChatGPT because I'm going to create this conversation very fast, okay? So I'm gonna say, create 30 seconds, create a conversation about last vacation, A1 level, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, I would say something like that. Yeah, okay. So let's imagine that my student created a conversation. So now I'm going to make a video about that. So I'm just copy and paste about this. How do you want? You want like a YouTube explainer, or maybe you want it as a as it's a script to video. I'm gonna do this one, okay. It's actually script to video, okay. Create a video using exactly this script. So you see, I'm gonna create that. I want a happy background music, any gender, any voice, you see? And okay, and then generate a video. Of course, with videos, it's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm not talking about, you see, it's not really even a minute. But now what we are going to see, we're gonna watch, it's a video based on this conversation, this dialogue that our students created in class, you see? So now it's analyzing, it's trying to get information, it's looking for pictures, it's looking for sound to create a video. And then we're gonna see what comes out from this, okay? Let's see. Okay, it says the audience, look and feel summer, YouTube. Yes, continue. Now it's creating the video. So you see the difference. We saw that from ChatGPT, seconds. In images, it takes a little bit more time. And then with videos, of course, more. Because we're asking to create a video, no. You see it's generating the script. You can even ask to write the subtitles in any language. That could also work as well. And now it's creating the voices, you see? So if we want to remember what the conversation was, just in case I'm going back until it finishes, it's like this. How was your vacation? Oh, it was amazing. I went to the beach. Really? That sounds fun. That's something that our students would usually write, right? I swam a lot. Nice. Did you try any food? Yeah, I had a fresh food. Sounds like a fantastic trip. So our students created that. And now we're going to help create the video. Yeah. And voila, video is ready. So let's see it. Let's see if you can hear, by the way. You can hear the sound of my video. Andres, can you hear it? No.
No, I can't.
Yeah. So let me, I guess it's the thing that I'm not. Let me stop sharing. I'm gonna share once more, but this time with sound. Maybe that's why. Yeah, okay. Now let's take a look. We saw we read the dialogue, right? Okay, so let's see now how it looks like.
Ever wondered what it's like to escape the mundane and dive into a world of sun, sand, and sea? Picture this. An ordinary man named Mark just returned from a beach vacation brimming with tales of his adventures. Mark, a beach enthusiast, found himself immersed in the azure blues of the ocean and the golden grains of sand. Oh, it was amazing. I went to the beach, he exclaims, his voice echoing the joy of his recent escape. His days were filled with swimming, the water cradling him, the waves playing hide and seek, and the sun casting a warm glow on his skin. On the sand, he transformed into a skilled architect, building sandcastles that stood as a testament to his creativity, a childlike joy evident in his exploits. But what's a beach vacation without the taste of salt on your lips, the tang?
And it goes on and on. But it's very interesting, you see, because it created like a narrative of it. And that's one of the examples. That's why I'm telling you, when you ask these tools to create something, it might not be accurate of what you want. Okay, so like, yeah, I want exactly the conversation. So then you will have to edit, you have to be more specific in your instructions, and then you have to go over and change this, okay? But this is just a random example of this. You see, it created a different one. Yesterday, when I asked the same thing, it created exactly the conversation. That's why I'm telling you that it changes all the time, okay? But this is just an example of, a video created based on a dialogue that our students made, yeah? Okay? Now, how can we use this in class? Ideas. One of the ideas is a narrative creation. So you can either create a video like this, then your students can watch the first part of the video and then they can write, you know, the end, okay, the end of the video, or they can watch the video in mute, and then based on that, they can, you know, write what would the narrator said about, you know, the pictures in the video. You know, you have different ways to do that. The other idea is video creation projects. Your students can create this type of videos. You ask them how to, you show them how it works, and then they can create their own videos, and then they present in class, you see? And then, of course, but you have to make sure to control the process. So in class, they write the script, they, you know, brainstorm what it looked like so that you know that they're using, you know, English, they're actually practicing and not just copying and pasting from ChatGPT. And then they can go, you know, in their houses, and then as a project, they can create the video. But remember that the process has to be done in class, otherwise your students are going to cheat, yeah? Or another one is for debate starters. You can create a video, maybe, about a topic for debates, and then based on the video, 1 minute, 2 minutes, your students can, you know, start talking about this, yeah? Okay, so that's for videos. If you want more ideas, okay, I'm going to give you this. So Andres, I might take 5 more minutes, okay, to finish. I don't know if it's okay.
No, it's okay. So I was thinking about it, and even I was to make a question about this. For me, it's very wonderful, Master Margarita, and I think that it could be very useful for different tools. For example, my question is, have you noticed when you make videos, but sometimes the edition of your videos are not so good enough, no? So as you pretend. So in this in this artificial intelligence, is it possible to paste the link of the video and you require that they can edit for you, so to make the changes, to fix the video?
Yeah. I don't know it's these two specifically, but there are other ones when you can say, okay, based on this video, a link, or maybe something that you already created, add more information, make it more fun, more realistic, add some background music. Yes, I don't know specifically a tool, but I know that it is possible. So we just have to look is the tool that does what you want. Now you can do that with pictures. The same with pictures. So you can say, for instance, you can upload a picture about you, and they say, okay, based on this picture, create an avatar, or make a picture Van Gogh style with your picture, and then it creates something like that. So you can provide your own pictures or videos, and then the AI is going to help you improve it. So now they're using a lot of these things to improve videos, pictures, adding some background. It's crazy the things that you can do now in seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so those are the 3 things just to give you some final advices, okay, on how to use these technologies, these new disruptive technologies. Something to keep in mind when using generative AI tools with your students, explain their limitation and ethical issues. They should be aware that they cannot trust 100% these things, that they have to be very critical on the information that they are receiving, okay? We should know as teachers, we should explain our students as well, okay? They should know this. Otherwise, they're going to accept whatever it comes from these things, and it's not totally true. Okay? It's very important that we train them. We have to talk about the ethical issues, especially when we're using ChatGPT, because our students might start, cheating. And they say, okay, you have to write an essay. Write an essay, 5-paragraph essay about this, and they just copy and paste, and teacher, my essay. Okay, so you have to explain the ethical issues about, using ChatGPT to cheat in your assignments. Okay, so very important to do that. The other one that it's all about the prompts, okay, the instructions that you give to the tools. And you have to learn how to create a nice prompt structure. So you're gonna see that the different tools have different ways to organize the prompts. For example, for ChatGPT, it usually is like this: give a role. Think like a teacher. You saw that in ChatGPT, I was writing, think like a teacher, write a lesson plan, provide example, list different activities. So what do I have to do? That's what the computer wants to know. And the context, you have to give more information, because if you just say, think like a teacher, write a lesson plan. Yeah, but about what? You're going to receive a lesson plan. The computer is going to give you, but about what? Write a lesson plan. It should last 45 minutes. My students are A2 level. They are adults. They are teenagers. The subject is this. Any specific information that you would like to add, that's why you have to add the context. And then the display method, it's that sometimes in ChatGPT specifically, you can ask information as a table. You can present it as a table. So that's a display method. So you see, you have to know the structure so that you can write the correct information, and then you can receive an accurate response, okay? But it is different. It's similar but different when you talk about pictures, okay? Sorry. For images, for instance, you see? So again, you need the content. What do you want? I want a photograph, a painting, okay? Of what? The description of an angry full-body wolf in the foggy woods by Alex Turner. The style, I don't know, Van Gogh. Remember that I was writing Van Gogh style, okay? And then how you want it, the composition, realistic, HD. So you see, the way that you write the prompt, it's different when you're talking about AI with images, okay? For images, it's different, but you have to provide as much information as possible. And for videos, the same situation, okay? Task and context. Create a 3-minute educational video explaining the basics of verb tenses. I'm sorry. The context. What else? Cover the 3 main tenses, provide clear examples, use visual cues, yeah? You have to provide as much information as possible so that the computer can create one, okay? So you see that in my case, what I did is I just copy and pasted the dialogue. Like the computer's like, okay, that's what you're giving me, I'm going to create this. But then I had to be very specific to say, create a video with this information, provide just the dialogue, do not add more information. And you see how the computer understands whatever you give them, it's going to understand that way, okay? And the last topic, my last advice would be to take baby steps to learn how to use these tools, okay? Generative AI in general, but keep learning, okay? I think that this will not go away. This is like Google, okay? It's gonna be our new Google. And we all teachers should know how to use it, and just to not be overwhelmed, because of course I gave you a lot of different ideas, a lot of different tools, and maybe now you want to try all of them. No, just baby steps, just one. Start with ChatGPT, probably. That's the one that people start using. Start with ChatGPT, start writing, start creating something, and then when you feel comfortable, then you can start little by little with other things. Like in my case, I haven't used with pictures, I haven't used it with videos. I'm using just ChatGPT so far, and I'm okay with that, okay? But you should know that these other tools exist. That's something that you should know, okay? So I guess that's everything for today. Thank you very much. If you want to follow me on Twitter, because I do post a lot of things on Twitter, okay, you can follow me over there. So if you have any questions, last questions, now is the moment, or any comment?
Yes, please, dear colleagues, in this moment, please feel free to ask any questions or make any comments, okay, for this interesting topic. Roxana, hello, Roxana. It's a pleasure to see you.
Hello, Andres. Hello, Miss. I was listening to the presentation, and it's Right, these days is an amazing topic, and we have to be updated with this. Thank you, Miss, for your presentation, your brilliant ideas. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your kind words, Roxana. I hope that you really, I'm glad that you like and that you enjoy, you know, my mini class, this webinar. The same for Robert that I'm reading over there. It was a great class. Thank you. So yeah, it was a pleasure to be here, to be invited, and to share all these things with all of you, with my fellow English teachers.
Yes, I think so, Miss Margarita. I think that this class that you already shared with us, I think that most of us will follow and look for information more than that. So, I don't remember some part of the Chat GPT, no? So we can download it, or it's online. We can find it on Google.
It's online, but now you also have in your cell phone. You can also use it in your cell phone. You have an application now. You can, and I think it's also in WhatsApp, but I'm not sure because I don't use it there. I just use it in web. Okay.
Okay.
But if you want to use ChatGPT, you just you can just write something like this. Maybe I'm going to sign out for a moment so that you can see. You can just go to Google and you can say, oh, OpenAI or ChatGPT like this. Okay. Here and then ChatGPT. Yeah, and then you have to sign up. You find your information. It's gonna ask for your telephone number. You have to validate your number. God knows what they're using, what they're doing with our personal information. But yeah, we have to provide our cell phone number, and then that's it. Once you register, you have access to it, and then you can start typing information. Okay, so it is, yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's saved. I mean, everything that you write, it's gonna be there. So for instance, remember that I have been doing all these things in class with you. Let me just enter quickly again. So you see everything is here. Okay, the last 7 days, everything is saved. So if you want to go back, it's like, what was the thing that I was doing for the webinar? You see? So you see, and then everything is saved here. Okay. And then here you have the button to copy and paste information. And yes, it's going to give you mistakes sometimes, but that's the thing. We have to learn how to differentiate that and edit the information. I have Emma saying, thank you. Thank you, Emma, for being here.
Okay, Master Margarita, so it looks like it is easier, but anyway.
Can we get that information?
Roxana had a question, but then you have some internet problem because we hear it slowly. Maybe you can type it so that we can read it.
Yeah. Roxana, please, could be better if you text, if you type your question, please. Yeah, Master Margarita, so I was referring to this WhatsApp. Now, it looks like easier, but we need time to practice anyway, no? As you explain it, in order to make it more wider, yes, we need to contextualize the questions, yes?
Exactly. It's about the prompt. I mean, the instruction. It's how you want to write a prompt. It will depend on, the information that you want. The more specific the prompt, the more information, the more accurate or precise of what you want. Yeah, that's why there is a field that it's called prompt engineering. So these are experts and they write long prompts. Sometimes a paragraph long prompt. But then, of course, that's the magic of it. More advanced versions of a prompt, create that. But for us, the minimum structure, okay, give a role. Think like an English teacher. Okay, now what? Create, write, list, what? A lesson plan, I don't know, an exam. And then you give more specific. information, and then it creates like that. And if you forgot something, I mentioned, remember that I showed you, you forgot something, just keep adding. Like, oh no, yeah, it's for teachers. Yeah, okay. And it generates again, but now with the new information that you added. So it's about practice.
Yes, I see it. Okay, dear colleagues, this is the last moment that you have any question. In case you have any question. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this interesting webinar. Thank you so much, Master Margarita. I appreciate your support, and also, I would like if you can accept in the future another invitation with the second part of this topic, or if you have another topic, it would be fine too.
Sure, no problem. I'm happy to help.
Thanks for sharing. I see that you share in this moment in the chat soon. This is all right.
So you can use it.
We can use it. My dear teachers, thank you so much for being part of this webinar. This is our last webinar of the year. Well, I don't know if I see you. I wish Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Same wishes, Master Margarita, no?
Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas to all of you and a Happy New Year as well.
All right. So see you around, dear teachers. Have a nice weekend, and we keep in touch. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.